What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your $1,400 third stimulus check update, fourth stimulus check update, and related news. We also have some brand new breaking new information about another round of student loan forgiveness. This is kind of the start of the fourth round of stimulus, which we're expecting multiple different provisions of student loans, Social Security increase, stimulus checks, mortgage rental assistance, property tax assistance, utility assistance, all in the fourth round of stimulus and possibly even more. There's so many things that I can't even remember them all on the spot. Yeah, there's a lot coming. We're gonna go over the latest details of the $1,400 stimulus checks, the breaking news we got just hours ago on the delay, but the confirmation that checks are coming for people that haven't got them yet, as well as new information on fourth round of stimulus and some related news. And actually, I'll give you an update on my medical condition at the end of this video if you're interested in that. All right, let's jump right in. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe down below so you don't miss out on updates on the new upcoming round of stimulus. All right, here we go. What experts are calling the fourth wave of the coronavirus vaccine is hitting the US right now, and we are coming up from our plateau of cases of around 60,000 new cases per day and around 1,500 deaths per day because of the virus every day. We are up 14% since last week of new cases, and experts are warning about the mutations possibly not being covered by the vaccinations and to stay vigilant. Here is the CDC director with a warning.
When I first started at CDC about 2 months ago, I made a promise to you. I would tell you the truth, even if it was not the news we wanted to hear. Now is one of those times when I have to share the truth and I have to hope and trust you will listen. I'm going to pause here. I'm going to lose the script and I'm going to reflect on the recurring feeling I have of impending doom. We have so much to look forward to, so much promise and potential of where we are, and so much reason for hope. But right now I'm scared. I know what it's like as a physician to stand in that patient room, gowned, gloved, masked, shielded, and to be the last person to touch someone else's loved one because their loved one couldn't be there. I know what it's like when you're the physician, when you're the healthcare provider, and you're worried that you don't have the resources to take care of the patients in front of you. I know that feeling of nausea when you read the crisis standards of care and you wonder whether there are going to be enough ventilators to go around and who's going to make that choice. And I know what it's like to pull up to your hospital every day and see the extra morgue sitting outside. I didn't know at the time when it would stop. We didn't have the science to tell us. We were just scared. We have come such a long way. 3 historic scientific breakthrough vaccines, and we are rolling them out so very fast. So I'm speaking today not necessarily as your CDC director, and not only as your CDC director, but as a wife, as a mother, as a daughter, to ask you to just please hold on a little while longer. I so badly want to be done. I know you all so badly want to be done. We are just almost there, but not quite yet. And so I'm asking you to just hold on a little longer, to get vaccinated when you can, so that all of those people that we all love will still be here when this pandemic ends.
So a true heartfelt moment there from CDC Director Rochelle Walensky. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Also, as you probably know, the former CDC director has been causing a lot of breaking news, a lot of controversy over the last few days as he came out, as he's not the CDC director anymore, and says that now he can give his opinion. And his opinion is that the coronavirus started in a lab in Wuhan, China, and was basically released, whether accidentally or purposely, by the Chinese government. Well, since then, the World Health Organization came out and, as expected, because a lot of people, including former President Donald Trump, have accused the CDC of being in the pockets of the Chinese government, as the Chinese government is the #1 benefactor to the World Health Organization. And they've been criticized around the world for being too buddy-buddy with the Chinese government. Well, now, just today, the US has joined 13 other countries in raising concerns with the data in the World Health Organization's Team Virus report. As you can see here, the US and 13 other countries on Tuesday released a statement raising, quote, concerns with a report from the World Health Organization convened team into the origins of the coronavirus, saying it lacked full access to the information it needed. Quote, we voice our shared concerns that the international expert study on the source of the SARS/CoV-2 virus, aka COVID 19, was significantly delayed and lacked access to complete original data and samples, the country said in a joint statement. There have long been questions raised about the independence of the World Health Organization's convened team of experts working jointly with Chinese scientists, and whether the Chinese government was providing full access to needed information on the origins of the virus. When asked on Tuesday at a White House press briefing if China had cooperated enough with the report, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said, quote, they have not been transparent. They have not provided underlying data, and that certainly doesn't qualify as cooperation. Quote, we don't believe that in our review to date that it meets the moment, said White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki. A statement from the 14 countries added, going forward, there must now be a renewed commitment by the World Health Organization and all member states to access, transparency, and timeliness. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken called out China more pointedly in comments on CNN on Sunday, saying, quote, we've got real concerns about the methodology and the process that went into that report, including the fact that the government in Beijing apparently helped write it. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Tomorrow, President Biden is expected to unveil one half of the next stimulus package, known as an infrastructure package, that will likely cost between $3 to $4 trillion. They're releasing half of it tomorrow. Apparently, it will likely be the physical half that will concentrate on roads, bridges, building jobs, and apparently money for senior care and other type of senior activities. It'll be interesting to see where that money will be spent for seniors. It'll be interesting to see what is unveiled in this first half of the next stimulus package, the basically the physical part of the infrastructure. But we could possibly see universal preschool, basically paid for by the government, so it would be free community college. I'm expecting this not just to be for teenagers graduating high school, but for adults that want to do this too, as well as we have dozens and dozens of lawmakers, both from the Senate and the House, pushing for recurring stimulus checks. So, not just one stimulus check, but multiple monthly recurring stimulus checks. We're nearing 100 different legislators in Congress between the Senate and the House of Representatives that are urging President Biden to include at least a fourth stimulus check in the next package, but maybe not just a fourth, but monthly reoccurring stimulus checks also. Now, remember, tomorrow I'm really just expecting there to be mostly just the physical infrastructure, but we will get a layout, possibly, hopefully, of the $2 trillion expected to be in this portion, the first half of this next bill. It's interesting that they're releasing it in halves or two different bills because we don't really know if they're going to try to pass it as two different bills or if they're going to combine them. And if they're going to combine them, they're releasing it in half probably to make it seem like it's less money, although they do plan to raise taxes to pay for a majority of this bill. Unlike the past stimulus packages, the 5 stimulus packages passed underneath President Trump and the 1 stimulus package passed so far underneath Biden did not raise any taxes. I get a lot of comments about those all the time. Where are they getting this money from? And personally, I think these 6 different packages, 5 that were passed underneath Trump, 1 underneath Biden, will never be paid for. They won't raise taxes to pay for this. It's just money that will go onto the government debt counter that is now around $30 trillion. Probably in 20 more years, it'll probably be $50 trillion. And that money will probably never get paid back. However, President Biden does want to raise taxes on corporations and the 1%, the wealthy, to pay for some of this infrastructure package, because it's not really a typical stimulus package where everything is just going out the door. It's infrastructure. So they want to build roads, build jobs, they want to build the economy, they want to build back better, which is the name of the package, as well as they'll be throwing multiple different stimulus items in there with the free preschool, possibly the free community college, possibly the stimulus checks added in there. We could see more student loan debt forgiveness, the Social Security raises. In fact, let me jump over to the newest development. So, about a week ago, actually 10 days ago, March 20th, as you can see dated here on this article, President Biden and the White House administration did cancel $1 billion of student loan debt. And if you remember, I said, because again, I have my finger on the pulse of everything, I have a very clear idea of what is likely going to happen in the future. And if you remember what I said he canceled $1 billion that day, and over the last several days. That $1 billion was canceled, and I said that's really just the first drop in the bucket that I'm expecting for student loan forgiveness. This first $1 billion was just the easiest round to cancel. It was for defrauded student loan borrowers that were defrauded in some different way by their school, or their school closed on them and they still had the debt. Okay. That was the first $1 billion. And well, that was about 10 days ago now at this point. Now, the White House administration and the Biden administration have just announced another round, a second round of student loan forgiveness with another $1.3 billion of student loan debt forgiveness. Here's the details. The U.S. Department of Education declared it will permanently discharge student loan debt held by Americans with permanent disabilities. Again, this is another round, now the second round. I'm expecting more, but I'll get to that here in a second. The announcement wipes out student loan balances totaling another $1.3 billion held by about 41,000 permanently disabled Americans whose debts were previously reinstated. The government provides debt relief to Americans with permanent disabilities. However, 41,000 borrowers got their balances reinstated as a result of either having their incomes rise too high or failing to submit annual documentation. About 98% of reinstated loans fall into the latter category. They basically forgot to submit annual documentation or didn't do it in a timely fashion. Something that the Department of Education cited Monday as a reason for doing this permanent discharge. So this is what I will call the second round of student loan debt cancellation. And again, this is what I would consider the low-hanging fruit. Both of these rounds I would consider low-hanging fruit. They were the easiest ones to do, and I'm expecting a lot more in the near future. So if you or anybody you know has student loans, feel free to share this video with them. I will keep you up to date. This is really just one thing in the entire round of the fourth stimulus round. There's really so many things. If you notice, I always try to switch it up every few videos, try to cover something different, so to keep you on your toes. And really, a lot of people are demanding full cancellation. President Biden has said he's willing to do $10,000 of student loan debt per person. And I expect to see that or something like that in the near future. Other people are asking, and this is now growing as a larger and larger kind of movement, is what about other types of debt forgiveness, mass debt forgiveness? What about people that don't get student loan debt forgiveness? Will they be able to cancel money of other types of debt for other types of people, such as medical debt forgiveness? Or what about mortgage debt forgiveness? What about credit card debt forgiveness? If you ever hear them speak, you hear one of the senators or Biden speak about student loan debt forgiveness, the main thing they talk about is how people come out of college and they're burdened with this debt for many, many years, decades, okay? But you could say the same thing about medical debt forgiveness or medical debt that you would want to have forgiven. You also could say the thing about credit card debt. Could also say the same thing about mortgage debt. People take out 30-year mortgages and that burdens them for like a third or half of their life, depending on how long you live. So really this kind of opens the door to more types of debt forgiveness possibly in the future that the government could just literally just wipe away. And mortgage debt forgiveness, they could really do that because the government owns Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. And well, they could simply just sign on the dotted line and make it go away, or make a portion, obviously not your entire mortgage, but what if they did up to $10,000 like they're possibly going to do for student loan debt forgiveness? And again, a lot of this sounds like a fairy tale, and I hear you if you're very skeptical about this, but they're doing this on student loans. And a few years ago, people would laugh at you if you said student loan debt forgiveness. It was a right wing conspiracy joke. Okay, Republicans used to laugh at the, and it's not that I'm a Republican or I'm a Democrat. It's just what it was. Okay, Republicans used to laugh at the idea of student loan debt forgiveness. Like, yeah, like that'll ever happen. Now we've just seen $2.3 billion of student loan debt forgiveness, and we're expecting a lot more. So really, once we get through this round, or partially through this round of student loan debt forgiveness, we could possibly see in the future. I'm not promising this. I am somewhat promising the student loan debt forgiveness, and I was right. We're already now 2 rounds into it. I was promising that before they even did it, because I could read the writing on the wall. When the president says he wants to do it, and you have all these Democrats saying they want to do it, and Democrats can pass bills on their own, well, they're doing it. So I can read the writing on the wall. That's why I say when I expect another stimulus check, at least one more before everything is done. Most of the time, I'm right. The naysayers will always be there. There will always be people that say student loan debt forgiveness will never happen. There were so many people saying the second stimulus check would never happen, and then they were wrong. And then they were saying the third stimulus check will never happen, and then they were wrong. And now there's people saying the fourth stimulus check will never happen. And again, when they're wrong, it'll be like, oh, well, I told you so. But that's not really in my nature. It's more of just, hey, let me bring you guys the latest information. Let me help you guys through this process. I'm here for you every day. And the more people that we can help along the way get the latest information, the better. And really, I'm not the one in charge of forgiving the student loan debts or not forgiving it, or the stimulus checks going out, or if they're delayed. It's not my fault. I'm just really reporting you guys the news. But I do pride myself on being here with you along the way, along the journey, bringing you all the latest information, letting you know what could happen or what couldn't happen in the future. And the momentum and the push for these things is kind of how these get done. So I'll keep you up to date with everything in the future. Feel free to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. This way you won't miss out on upcoming videos. After subscribing, click the bell icon to all notifications so you get reminder notifications when we go live, which is every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., 8 p.m., and 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's also a share button down there below. You can share this video with your family and friends, especially anybody that might have student loans or anything like that. Share this with them so they know about these programs that are coming out, because, well, you're probably going to have to apply for them. So I will keep you up to date on everything. Also, I didn't even get time to get to it in this video. The $1,400 stimulus checks, there was a big video, last video. Honestly, it'll be easier for you to just watch that. Click this video here if you're on Social Security and you don't know about the recent changes that the checks are probably going to come out on April 7th. So click this video if you haven't watched this yet, and watch this video about the $1,400 stimulus checks. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.